Hi everyone, welcome to DIY Ideas. So you know the series on masks that we did? So that turned out to be pretty useful, so I decided to show you another version of this. So actually I'll do 2 more videos total in the series. So this will be the first one, which means that it would actually be part 8 of the series. So this is a video tutorial of something I found online. So there are now many instructions on how to do this, how to do masks, and I think the video format makes it super simple to understand and see how it works and to try it at home yourself. So let's try it out. So these masks have the bands that you can tie in a knot when you wear them. My other videos mostly had rubber bands or elastic band, so I thought we can also do this one if you prefer doing something like this instead of having elastic stuff to hold it. So I want to say this once again, these masks are not protective enough. They cannot guarantee 100% protection. Whichever mask we're talking about, it's all the same. This is just something to keep you a bit safer or feeling safer. If you're sick, then you won't spread it to others as easily, but otherwise it doesn't 100% protect you. So you will need some cotton or anything you can wash at higher temperatures, then your iron and any wire. I'll just use a paper clip that I can kind of just spread out like this. You can, of course, use whichever one you like. Sometimes you can find stuff like this in the kitchen. I know sometimes these wires come with lunch bags, but either way, you just need something that will serve as a wire, whatever you have. Then you need some pins, of course, and your fabric scissors as well, and something to measure with. You can either adjust this or use the same measurements as I'm using. So I'm doing an adult size, so if you're doing this for kids or someone with a smaller face and head, you might need to Google the right size. But this is just a regular adult size that most people will find fitting. So just so you know. The main part here is on my right, so it's one piece that's 17 times 34 centimeters or 7 times 13 to 14 inches. So this is the piece that's going to be our main piece, and we will fold it in half so that it's doubled. My fabric is super thin this time, so I decided instead of 17 times 34, I did double the width. So the side that's supposed to be 17 centimeters, I actually did in 34. So basically about 30 something inches on both sides is what I decided to do. So this way I can fold this in half, and then I have 4 layers instead of 2 since my fabric is super thin. But the original size I found in the instructions is 17 times 34. Then you're going to need some bias tape, or if you don't have that, you can make your own out of the same or different fabric. I didn't have a long enough bias tape piece to do this, so this is why I did it myself out of the same fabric. So you need 2 bands that are 90 centimeters long. So that's the part that you will tie in a knot on the back of your head. So that's almost a yard if you prefer that when working. And then you're gonna need 2 times 17 centimeters or about 6.5 inches so that you can make it neater on the top and bottom. Since I didn't have any bias tape, I decided to make something like that myself. So I'll show you that as well. We have 2 times 17 centimeters, that's the length that we have, and the width should be 2 centimeters when we are completely done. So I did 5 centimeters of width so that I have enough room. So this is something like bias tape. You fold it 2 times on each side, and you see I cut this out. So basically the size is 2 times 17 times 5 centimeters. And then I folded it on both sides about 1 centimeter and ironed them. The same I did with the other one and with the 2 longer ones as well. So 5 times 90 centimeters is what I have here, 2 times, and then fold both sides and iron over them so that it's like bias tape. But of course, make sure to remember that this is kind of like fake bias tape, but I think it will work just fine in this project. So either do regular bias tape with this length, or you can make your own fake bias tape. This is simultaneously your first prep step, so if you don't have real bias tape, you can just prep this so that you have it done and ready for the rest of the project. The first step here is this part, the main piece. So I made it doubled and I folded it so that it's a bit thicker, but your piece should be 17 times 34 centimeters, and that's what you fold in half to get a square like this. Also, I don't know if you can see this, but you may notice that I marked already some points. So that's where I will do our mini folds. So for that, I marked a bit to make it easier to do. So when I folded this, I marked where 3.5 centimeters or 1.4 inches are. Let's see, so from the top 3.5 centimeters, and that's the first one we need. So that way it has enough distance from the top edge on top, and the next mark is now 3 centimeters on the bottom. So each of these you do on both sides, of course. So 3 centimeters or 1.2 inches is the depth of each fold. And when you fold it later, the actual fold will be 1.5 centimeters or about a half an inch. So after this mark, I always marked where my next fold will be. The next spot is 2 centimeters away, and then again 3 centimeters for the fold depth, and then again 2 centimeters to the next fold, and again 3 for our third fold. I'll explain again. So the first mark is 3.5 centimeters from the top edge, then a mark 3 centimeters away from the last one, then 2 centimeters away from that mark, and then 3 centimeters, and again 2, 3 centimeters, and that's it. Now you should be able to see, let me zoom in, 1, 2, and 3 folds total. So the folds, you can always see where the wider marks are, the 3 centimeter marks, and it should be the same on the other side, of course. So we can now get to the folding. So just follow the marks that you just did. There we go, let's pin. I'll do both sides separately to keep them neat. Now skip one mark and do the next one. Okay, so this is what you should have. This is the back, so the folds are nicely folded in the same direction. And now you can iron over this so that your folds stay put, and when you're stitching it will be easier too. So you can also do first the stitches on this side here and then iron over it. Both ways will work. So just on both sides you want to do a regular straight stitch. Okay, so I did this and the stitches are done on the sides. Our main piece is done as well. And now we just need the bands. So first the 17 centimeter long ones, so we take those first. Here is the first one and the second one is there too. So now you can take your wire So we wanted 17 centimeters or less, so I think mine is good, but you don't want it too long because when you do the stitch, the wire might get in the way, and that's not the most optimal thing to do. So shorten if you need to before you start. So let's get started. I'll align the bottom side. Put the wire in and fold the edge over. I recommend you pin this so that nothing slips, and then just do a stitch to keep it all in place and to keep the wire on the inside, so one step for two things total. Okay, so now that I finished this, the one side, so I pinned and stitched, and now I'll push the wire in. This way you're preventing from accidentally breaking your needle on the wire. So you can now do the same on the bottom, but this time without the wire, of course, but it's the same thing. First you pin and then you stitch it up. So the wire is just on the top section because of the nose, so that it lets no air through. So that's why we just need it on the top section and not on the bottom. And now we are done with this step, so now we just need the longer band so that we can finish it completely. So take one band and fold in half. See where your half of your mask is and align. It doesn't have to be perfect, but we want it somewhat symmetrical. So 90 centimeters or 1 yard is really enough, so you won't need more than that. You might need less, but not more. You can, if you'd like, make them longer, but I really don't think that you're gonna need more than this. Now we do the same as with the shorter ones, so we align the one half with the one edge, and then we just fold over it. And if you'd like, you can also pin this first, and then just stitch along the edge. Make sure you stay on the mask so that you secure it that way as well, and then you can fold the rest of the band and also stitch that to make it look even neater. So I did the other side the same way, and our mask is completely done. So you see here the bands that we have. You can do a knot here, or you can fold it a couple of times and then just do a little stitch. But I won't do this because I want to try this out, and I might shorten this a bit when I do. So this is optional, and you don't have to do this if you don't want to. So see how long you need it, and then you can shorten it, but you won't need a lot more than a yard or 90 centimeters. All in all, we are done with our mask, so this is what it looks like. Here is the wire, of course, that you can adjust to your nose and cheek area. The folds should expand when you wear it, so they should expand to the outside. In this case, the mask is really practical because even if you notice that you did it the other way around, you can just turn it because both sides look the same. So if you remember when we did the side bands, so these two, they make it neater so it looks really nice from both sides, and it also won't fray this way. So this is also washable, which makes it reusable as well. Just take care after a couple of washes that your wire is still inside and doesn't stick out or hasn't ripped any stitches. So you can even replace them if you'd like to. This is the mask that I wanted to show you for today, so a little bit different than what we usually did, but I think it's still going to be useful. Feel free to let me know in the comments. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Feel free to shoot a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel if you'd like to see more. You can also let us know in the comment section how you found the video and if you found it useful. If you have any questions, feel free to ask those too. And I hope to see you in our next project. So stay healthy and I'll see you next time. Bye!